Hey guys, Venomous here, and I got a brand new segment of The Verdict for you. Now today, I'm talking about Spider-Man, okay? Because someone wanted me to talk about Spider-Man. The guy who asked me, his name is Relentless Redemption, okay? He wanted me to do an OTGT about Spider-Man, but usually when I talk about stuff like this, with the exception of that one time with Star Wars, I usually talk about this on The Verdict. So here's your video, Relentless Redemption, okay? Talking about Spider-Man, okay? He wanted me to talk about the movies, but I'm going to talk about everything with Spider-Man, okay? Best Spider-Man cartoon. Number one, Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, the animated series. Okay, it was on Fox Kids. If you remember that in the '90s, and it was one of the premier Marvel cartoon shows that they had on there. They also had X-Men, Iron Man, and the Incredible Hulk. But really, what was really the crown jewel of that whole ensemble of cartoons was Spider-Man. Why? Because they had a kick-ass guitar riff in the very beginning, which I don't care who you are, yet nobody has been able to top that actual riff for Spider-Man to date. I don't care about the Sam Raimi movies, the actual musical score that they got there. That riff for Spider-Man was sweet. Okay. Anyway, that cartoon was so good, okay, because it had a lot of stories from the actual comics. The animation looked great. Had some interesting stories that weren't necessarily, from the comics. They did borrow some elements from there, but it went off on its own little thing. Had a lot of episodes too, because it was the most popular cartoon of the actual Marvel cartoon properties, out there. It did the best out of all of them, okay. So overall, that is probably the best actual TV appearance of Spider-Man. Like, they also had the Spectacular Spider-Man, which is good in its own right, especially for now, these days and age, and at least for people who haven't seen the original Spider-Man cartoon. But I grew up with the actual, Spider-Man on Fox Kids. I thought that was awesome, okay? For me, that will always be the best cartoon Spider-Man, hands down, period, okay? On top of that, it also had a lot of appearances from other Marvel characters, including Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, the X-Men, etc. The list goes on, okay? A lot of cameo appearances here and there, at least with the whole Marvel universe coming together, okay? But anyway, moving on. Time to talk about some movies, okay? Obviously, the big movies, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, the three trilogy movies, okay? Best movie of the actual saga, okay? Is this bad boy right here, Spider-Man 2, okay? Reason why I say Spider-Man 2 is the best one, okay? Yes, Spider-Man 1 is the origin of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man. Obviously, we all know this. We've all seen that movie, okay? We've all seen that story or heard that story. We've seen it on screen, okay? It was great to actually have that actual origin story stay true to the character, because in case you guys haven't noticed, throughout all the years Spider-Man has ever been, printed in a comic book, been on TV, been in movies, his origin almost always remains the same, and his look and his actual costume almost always remains the same at the start of his origin. Moving on, from there, obviously he gets the black suit, the Captain Universe suit, the Iron Spider suit, etc., etc., etc. But you always get that, what is it, red and blue tights with the spider webs on it, and the webs and the actual web fluid, or the web actual stuff he comes from his hands. What is it that he throws out there? Okay, the web fluid that he makes, by the way. In the original actual comic book and the actual TV series and the cartoons, Peter Parker actually made the web fluid. He never actually got it from his wrist right here. Wasn't part of his biology. Okay, anyway, reason why Spider-Man 2 is the best one, okay? Because one, it ups the ante so much and actually gives so many problems for Peter Parker, what the same way it actually is in the comics, okay? Even to the actual point where he actually questions the idea of actually remaining Spider-Man, okay? That is actually that's like a huge turning point for the character, a huge, obstacle for him to overcome. And I don't think there's been any other form of media other than the actual comics that has been able to actually top or get to that point with this character, okay? This movie did a really good job. Had a great villain. Everybody actually cared about the villain in Spider-Man 2. They cared about the Green Goblin in Part 1, which was awesome. It was classic to see Spider-Man and the Green Goblin actually beating the crap out of each other. But Dr. Octopus really, he had a really good connection, or actually, actual, actually meaningful, how can I word this? He actually had a purpose within this movie. He actually had an actual relationship with Peter Parker. He was actually someone that Peter Parker was writing a story about in one of his college essays and stuff that Harry Osborn hooked him up with. That's actually good. He actually has some type of relationship, actual, connection with the actual hero. The the protagonist, the antagonist and the protagonist come together like that. Really good villain. Great fight scenes. The train sequence is probably the best sequence in all the movies, hands down, okay? Bottom line. This is the movie that you need to see, okay? Obviously, of the whole franchise. Spider-Man 1, obviously, but definitely see Spider-Man 2. It was awesome. Now, let's talk about the crap that is Spider-Man 3, okay? Get ready, because this one's going to be a doozy. And I know a couple of you people have been waiting for this, so get ready. Fat Man's about to go on on a shooting spree right here. Okay, Spider-Man 3. You guys know my favorite character in the Marvel U as far as villains are concerned or anti-heroes is Venom. I was pissed when I saw Spider-Man 3, okay? Number one, Venom didn't really look like Venom, okay? He looked like a really anorexic, scrawny, I've been on, what is it? I've been on crack for the past couple days looking Venom, okay? Venom slash Eddie Brock is supposed to be buff as hell, okay? Venom is supposed to be a big mofo that beats the crap out of Spider-Man, literally, and laughs at him while he does it. And when he's not beating the crap out of him, he's taunting him right in front of his face, in front of all his loved ones and stuff. And Peter Parker can't do a damn thing about it. Why? Because if he does, everybody will find out that he's Spider-Man. So Venom kind of toys with him. He kind of toys with the fact that he's actually going to kill Aunt May, or he's going to mess up Mary Jane, but he never actually does because he wants to see Spider-Man squirm, okay? That would have been cool. Okay, for a movie with just Venom like that, Spider-Man and Venom hands down with just the black suit and nothing but Venom for those 2 hours would have been awesome. That would have probably topped Spider-Man 3. I mean Spider-Man 2. Okay, what they did was for Spider-Man 3. Okay, they added too many villains. Okay, they had Sandman, Venom, and this new crappy-looking Goblin, which is Harry Osborn, and is supposed to turn into the Green Goblin. Not this new Goblin that's got like a freaking surfboard for a glider. Okay, that's not the Green Goblin, people. No, 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 no. Okay, you can't do that. You can't mess with people's, one of people's favorite villains that actually kills Gwen Stacy, okay? And by the way, they had Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3, and she was there. She didn't get killed. She was just there just to hang around for not that long in the movie, and also to make Mary Jane jealous. I mean, come on, man. Seriously. Sam Raimi knew how he was supposed to do this movie. Originally, Sam Raimi just wanted to do the Sandman, nothing more. And if there was a Spider-Man 4, then maybe do Venom, okay? Because having too many villains and having too many characters in a movie is going to do nothing but ruin the movie, hands down. What Sony wanted to do is they wanted to add Venom in there and just rush him in there, hands down, period, just to make a quick buck to get people to go see the movie, okay? Like, people weren't going to go see the movie because it's Spider-Man if Part 2 was so great. They kind of just screwed it up with Part 3, okay? Bottom line, and then also, I have to mention this, the whole dancing emo Parker thing, when he gets the black suit and he's just doing that stupid little dancing thing and making people look at him all funny and stuff, that's how people were looking at this movie in the theaters. They were like, what the hell am I watching? Peter Parker's not supposed to be dancing around like some idiots. The best part of that movie about Spider-Man 3 was, number one, when Spider-Man was getting the crap kicked out of him by both Venom and Sandman, just at that part alone, okay? And also, when Peter Parker smacks Mary Jane in the face, when she's trying to stop him from acting like such a retard. Okay, that was the one redeeming part of the entire movie. The only reason why that was redeeming, besides being funny as hell, is because it's actually taking Peter Parker to such a new low for him, as part of the influence of the black Spider-Man suit, or the symbiote, for the most part. And by the way, also having the two suits side by side in the closet was probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen in an actual Spider-Man movie. I don't know who wrote that in there. I don't know who the writer was or whatever, but he was on crack when he wrote that, because in case you guys don't know, especially people who follow the comics would know that symbiote always stays on you. You can't just take it off like a shirt or something and just hang it on a damn hanger or something. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? That's the whole point and the whole reason why Peter Parker can't remove the actual symbiote, just by taking it off and stuff like that. That's why it tries to stay on him, especially when they're in the church scene, okay? Anyway, Spider-Man 3 was a piece of crap, okay? If anything, they should, if they're doing this reboot nonsense and stuff, go back and reboot that whole movie, hands down. Call it like Spider-Man 3.0 to actually give it a little bit of difference, to let people know that this movie's not going to suck, okay? Now, as far as the Spider-Man reboot is concerned, okay, just a quick mention of that. Yes, they've already cast Spider-Man in the actual, the actual actor that's going to be playing Spider-Man. He's not going to be going back to high school like it was initially thought out to be. He's going to be going back to college, which would be interesting, because obviously, it will make, more sense of actual stuff of what could go on and where they could take the character and stuff. But I'm going to wait to give my opinion on that until I actually see a trailer or a movie on that, okay? But anyway, that's just my thoughts on the Spider-Man franchise, okay? Leave your comments or video responses. I don't mind. Just keep it civil. I'm just throwing it out there for you guys. I'm a fan of Spider-Man 2 and a fan of the original Spider-Man, the animated series on Fox Kids. Those are some of my favorite stuff. I'm also a big fan of the comics. That's where it's at, okay? But anyway, I'm throwing it out there for you guys. I'm out. I'll talk to you guys again real soon, all right? Take it easy.